While we're stuck waiting for Rockstar's silence to end, we got some good news recently about GTA 6. This time it's actually coming from Take-Two, the parent company above Rockstar. And what's crazy is where this good information is coming from is actually this. Like, you're probably looking at this like, what the hell am I looking at? Form 10K filed by Take-Two for the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. A bit of a side note, this is where we're at in the GTA 6 news. Because of Rockstar's silence, we're looking at forms filed for the SEC to get some good news regarding GTA 6. Here was an article though that sort of summed it up because it's not a good read. It's very long, that official 10K report or whatever it is. The part that's good though is here, what you can see in the title. Take-Two warns investors that review bombings can hurt profits. Wow, who would have thought? In other news, water's wet, the sky's blue. One would think that investors should know something like this. I mean, it's a pretty logical assumption that bad reviews, probably because of bad things that they've done, can cause people to not buy those games, which in turn hurts their profits. But here we are. They had to officially, I guess, explain that. And that is actually the good news. So a summary of that form, Grand Theft Auto and 2K, NBA 2K publisher Take-Two has added review bombing to the list of risks that could impact the publisher's success, warning investors that hostile campaigns may lead to the loss of players and revenues, as well as additional advertising and marketing costs and reputation harm. And apparently this was added because I guess they file these every year. This was new in this 2024 version, which was recently filed compared to the one from last year in 2023. And there's some other stuff in there, I guess, just to complete it. Other changes which have not been reported before include Take-Two's diminished alarm over used game sales, warnings over an obstacle course of forthcoming loot box regulations, and the eye-breezing deletion. Okay, don't really care about the NFL. But I did actually want to quickly just look at the what they mentioned in the official document. So this is straight from them. This is the wording they chose. Furthermore, obtaining and maintaining high ratings of our games on third-party platforms are important as they help players find our games. Now, with GTA 6, of course, it doesn't necessarily matter too much because everyone knows what GTA 6 is. If the ratings of our games decline, or if we receive significant negative reviews that result in a decrease in our ratings, our games can be more difficult for players to find or recommend. In addition, we may be subject to negative review campaigns or defamation campaigns intended to harm our ratings. Any such decline may lead to a loss of players and revenue, additional advertising, marketing costs, and reputation harm. Now, the explanation of why this is a pretty great thing for them to finally, maybe hopefully get through their head and understand is because the games at launch might actually, be properly working and functioning. It is a thing nowadays that games just release, they're pretty broken, and then over the course of years, they inevitably get fixed. But what they're arguing here is that the initial release is huge, which again, just kind of makes sense. That's when all the hype is building. Like, imagine if GTA 6, even though it has all this hype, imagine if it had a cyberpunk-esque launch where it is just negatively reviewed, things don't work, it's super buggy, super glitchy. Even all that hype, they'd probably end up losing a lot of money. It'd still make a bunch, but they'd lose a lot more than what they could have ended up getting. And so that's the good news, that they're actually aware of that. And maybe they actually put more time into testing things, making sure things actually run properly when the game launches. I mean, just from a business perspective, it doesn't make sense to spend all this time working on the game and then to rush it out at the very last second and lose all the potential profit that they could have gotten if they just, waited and made sure the game ran properly, which does, inevitably mean that delays are always on the table. Now, from what we've seen, GTA 6 has already been internally delayed. They wanted it out early 2025. Now it's releasing fall of 2025. So hopefully that's all the delay that we have. But if they are putting this sort of language in this new, filing document, then if there is a world where GTA 6 isn't ready in fall 2025, it sounds like they are willing to delay it again to make sure it doesn't get the negative reviews and stuff at launch. So that is a possibility, maybe a downside. But I think overall, it's pretty good to hear that they realize, guys, we should actually make better products. And I think it also applies to some of the other worries we have regarding like GTA Plus, for instance. If they're worried about negative reviews, there's no way to get quicker negative reviews than to have some GTA Plus subscription service that's just crazy, like either expensive or necessary. So many people are not going to want to pay an extra $7, $8 a month just to have something, like, especially if they lock content behind that. Something like that will cause negative reviews. So maybe, at least initially at launch, we might not get a crazy GTA Plus subscription. Maybe it'll just be a couple of things here and there, and it won't necessarily be, required almost to have it if you want to play the game properly. Same thing can be said for shark cards. I mean, we don't really know much about how the monetization of GTA Online is going to work, GTA Online 2 or GTA 6 Online. But if they bring back shark cards, maybe the economy and stuff won't be as crazy as it is now because, again, people will negatively review the game if it's not somewhat reasonable. So maybe we won't have crappy trucks and sedans costing like $1.5 million in GTA Online 2. Again, if they actually are putting this in wording and they're actually taking this to heart, this is a pretty good thing to hear from a consumer standpoint. Now, on the other hand, there is a slight worry that maybe this could also be a bad thing, because we all know GTA and Rockstar especially love to push boundaries, especially with politics and all that sort of stuff. They love to satirize a bunch of stuff. They don't care about making fun of certain or at least they used to not care about making fun of certain demographics. Like, that was the part of the charm of GTA. And of course, that inevitably led to people being outraged by certain things that Rockstar did. Well, I wonder now if maybe they don't go as crazy with that sort of stuff, because that sort of outrage will also lead to negative reviews and review bombing, which will hurt the profit. So, maybe that's the only worry regarding this, is maybe they tone down some of the outlandish and crazy stuff we normally see, because they are worried about those sort of groups being outraged, even though usually those sort of groups don't ever buy the products. But if they are worried about negative reviews, that is something to mention. But that's really it. While we are waiting here for hopefully some screenshots in the next couple of weeks or so, maybe early August, I saw this and I thought this was some pretty good news. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Actually, the final thing I wanted to throw in here was actually their mentioning of AI, because this is something that is kind of relevant nowadays with AI getting bigger and bigger and being more used. I think they have a pretty good grasp on how they want to use AI here. And I think it's pretty good, again, for the consumer. One of their risk factors, in addition to the review bombing, and they had a couple others, but one of the other ones they added recently this year was the development and use of artificial AI in our products may present operational and reputational risks. They say the use of this new technology, which is in its early stages, presents social and ethical issues that may result in legal and reputational harm and liability. And they also mentioned that intellectual property ownership surrounding AI has not really been addressed in US courts, or there's no laws basically about AI right now. There's no regulations, they say. So basically what I'm gathering here is they are not going to dive, headfirst into all the AI stuff, which is great for right now, because that means actual humans are going to be making games for the time being for them. So that was another really cool thing I did want to mention here. So don't have to worry about AI taking over in GTA 6 and making the game terrible. So yeah, another really good thing to hear from this document. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's GTA 6 video. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Again, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. That's gonna do it though. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.